The ballroom at the Beverly Wilshire Hotel sparkled that evening as chandeliers cast a golden glow over elegantly dressed guests, mingling with glasses of champagne in hand. It was the annual charity gala, a gathering of politicians, business moguls, celebrities, and media icons. Conversations and the soft strains of a live orchestra filled the room. Hunter Biden, known for his lively personality, was among the attendees. Dressed sharply in a tuxedo, he drew attention not just for his attire, but for his animated conversations and tendency to command the room. Across the room, Barron Trump, the youngest member of the Trump family, stood in quiet contrast. At 18, he exuded composure, dressed in a perfectly tailored navy suit, observing the crowd with a calm demeanor. While whispers circulated about his presence, Barron avoided the spotlight, engaging politely with those who approached him. The evening's program featured silent auctions, heartfelt speeches, and musical performances. But the atmosphere shifted when the MC announced a lighthearted segment where guests could share jokes and anecdotes. The crowd responded with a mix of excitement and apprehension. Hunter Biden was the first to step up. Striding confidently to the stage, he cracked a few harmless jokes about high society and the event's extravagance, eliciting polite laughter. However, his tone soon shifted. "Take young Barron Trump over there," he said, scanning the room as heads turned toward Barron. "Tall, handsome, born into one of the most famous families in the world. But I've always wondered, what's it like to grow up with a name bigger than your personality?" The room froze. The audience hesitated, unsure whether to laugh or recoil. Barron, standing near the back, remained composed, his expression unreadable. Hunter tried to lighten the moment, raising his glass and saying, "Come on, folks, it's all in good fun." But the tension in the air was unmistakable. Then Barron moved. Calm and deliberate, he walked through the crowd, which instinctively parted for him. His measured strides and commanding presence turned all eyes toward him. Reaching the stage, Barron extended his hand. Hunter, perhaps more flustered than he let on, handed over the microphone. Standing under the spotlight, Barron addressed the room in a steady, composed voice. "First of all, thank you, Mr. Biden, for your generous word," he began, his tone laced with subtle sarcasm. The audience chuckled, warming slightly to his calm demeanor. He continued, "It's funny you mention legacies and personalities, because I've always believed that a legacy is what you leave behind when people forget your name. It's about how you treat others and whether you can look in the mirror at the end of the day and say, 'I did something good.'" The audience listened intently, captivated by his maturity. Turning to Hunter, Barron added, "If there's one thing my parents taught me, it's that your actions speak louder than anything else. So maybe instead of trying to make people laugh at someone else's expense, we should focus on lifting people up." A ripple of applause broke out, hesitant at first but quickly growing into a resounding ovation. Barron's composure had turned the mood of the room. He handed the microphone back to Hunter with a slight nod and returned to his seat, his confidence unshaken. The crowd buzzed with admiration and respect for the young man who had not only defended himself but elevated the conversation. Hunter, left standing on stage, tried to recover with a joke. "Well, folks, I guess I've been put in my place," he said with a forced laugh. But the audience's allegiance had shifted. Conversations turned to Barron's words, dissecting his poised response and the wisdom he displayed. Journalists began scribbling notes, cameras pivoted toward Barron's table, and the young Trump had become the evening's focus. By the time dessert was served, Barron's moment had already started spreading beyond the ballroom. Guests texted friends and shared snippets of his speech on social media. Hashtags like #Barron Trump and #Leadership trended within hours. A columnist in attendance typed furiously, whispering, "This isn't just a gala story, this is a generational moment." Hunter, meanwhile, quietly slipped to the bar, his earlier confidence noticeably diminished. Barron's calm response had not only diffused the tension, but also redefined the evening's tone. A philanthropist approached Barron to thank him, saying, "You reminded us why we're here tonight." Barron's reply was simple, "I just said what felt right." The next morning, news outlets replayed clips of Barron's speech. Headlines praised his maturity and grace under pressure. Social media was flooded with admiration, with one viral post reading, "Last night, an 18-year-old showed us what leadership looks like. It's not about power or privilege, It's about character. Donations to the gala's cause surged in the days following, many accompanied by notes citing Barron's words as inspiration. Schools and organizations began using his speech as a teaching moment about respect, composure, and leadership. Yet Barron remained unfazed by the attention. When asked about the moment weeks later, he simply said, "I didn't say anything special. I just spoke what I believe." In the end, Barron's actions reminded everyone that character isn't built in big moments. It's revealed there. His quiet strength and grace left an indelible mark, challenging everyone to reflect on their own actions and how they could use their platforms to lift others up.